Hey kitty girl, it's your world. When you walked up, something step into that beat.
Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you. But here.
What?
Scooch over. There we go. Now we're more centered. Yeah, I know how filmography works.
So how are you doing this fine day?
I'm doing great.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very busy day.
What were you doing?
So this morning I had class, my last history of theater class, and it was a very interesting class, but frankly, dreaded it. It was so much work.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had a rehearsal for the directing scene I'm in, and then I had my last acting class of the semester.
Do you feel sad?
Yeah, a little bit. Definitely a little bit. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for what's next, but, like, I really liked all my classes this year. And I complained about history of theater a lot, but I did enjoy it, and I definitely learned stuff from it.
Do you have any more, like, final projects or exams?
Yeah, I have one, like, reflection due tonight, and then I will be performing in somebody else's directing scene, but that won't affect my grades, so I'm just going to go and knock it out.
I hope you do good. I think you're going to do good.
Thank you. I'm excited. I really like it. I think it's really fun. How was your day? What did you do today?
Did absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
I have 0 classes on Mondays.
I always forget that.
Yeah.
That's so nice.
I've been trying to get motivation to do a 10-page paper that I have due tomorrow.
How many pages do you have?
1.5.
Yeah! That's more than 0.
You know how much I did today?
Go on.
Half a page.
Yeah!
You know how many I'm wanting to finish tonight?
How many?
0.
Because you're doing this with me.
Yeah.
Are you recording over something?
I thought I deleted that.
I just don't want you to lose anything, King.
There we go.
Oh my God.
I don't know what that
Do
does.
not chew into the mic. You're putting me through hell. You shouldn't put our listeners through hell. Oh my God, I'm gonna K-word myself.
Kiss yourself? How are you gonna kiss yourself? Quickly goes to mirror and kisses himself in beer. So, speaking of theater,
No, talk about, is that your last project or no?
I have a final exam on Thursday, and I have a
About?
group. I don't even know.
Fair enough. Today's topic is theater. Today, we're gonna talk about my favorite thing in the whole world. Theater.
Football.
No more football. Today's my day of expertise.
Yes. What is theater?
How much would you say you know about theater?
I don't, cause I don't want to oversell myself. You know?
Have you
No.
ever done theater before?
No.
Okay.
But I've been around theater people.
Okay.
If that yeah. I don't. It's like I know a little bit. I'll say I know a little bit. I don't know too much. Like,
What would you say you do know?
I've watched some musicals. Is that kind of theater?
Yeah.
Or like theater plays as well, and
Yeah.
musicals too. And I
Have
know.
you ever seen a show that I've been in? I know your roommates have. No, why don't you tell our listeners? Have you ever seen me in a show?
Yeah.
What show?
Grease.
It's confirmed he's never seen me in a goddamn show. I've never been in a production of Grease in my life.
Are you sure? Are
Continue.
you sure you just don't
Yes,
care?
I'm certain. You jerk.
Me and Janet, my girlfriend, she is really into theater, and that's what she's like majoring in. Not like acting or anything, but like more of the technical side. So I know a lot about lights and kind of like the setup of theater. And I know like the differences between theater acting and film acting, just from what you said and then from what Claudia said.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I know.
Cool. What shows have you seen? Have you seen anything in New York? Have you seen anything on like a professional stage, or has it mostly been in like academia?
Just basically academia. I haven't seen.
Cool.
The like live theater that I have seen is not like live. It's just like pre-recorded stuff.
Okay, gotcha,
yeah.
gotcha.
So I haven't like.
We will be changing that.
Wait. Vivid memories from when I was little. I think. I forget what I think I might have seen The Lion King.
That would track.
Yeah. I think.
I would say most kids who go to New York and are expecting to see a show are either going to see Lion King or Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's, like, one of the two.
Yeah. Or it was, like, some, like...
Or Aladdin.
Those were...
Lion King is great on Broadway.
Isn't it, like, the highest grossing, like...
One of them, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's that one, Chicago, and Phantom.
Mm-hmm. I've seen... I've seen Phantom over on YouTube.
Okay.
So I didn't see it in person, but...
So you've seen a bootleg.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen many a bootleg in my time.
Wait. During COVID, I think they uploaded, like, the official site, like, uploaded because it was, like, during COVID time. So, like, the official, like, thing that do it,
That's cool.
I'm pretty sure, like, they did it in, like, a film.
I had a drama online and a Broadway HD subscription over COVID, so I was watching it that way. Yeah, so, like, I'm going to give you my little brief overview of theater, but, like, I think with things like football, there's, like, set rules, but I feel like theater doesn't really have any rules, so I can tell you about my own experiences, but I can't speak to everybody else's. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
I have a few questions lined up, too.
Oh, heck yes. Love this. So my experience with theater, I think I've talked about this before a little bit. Mm-hmm. I started theater really young. I was really lucky. Both my parents were in theater. So, like, my first show, technically, I was 6 months old because I was carried across the stage by... so my parents were directing at a high school, and they were like, carry her across the stage. That was my first show, and I've been doing dance since I was 4, singing since I was 6, and then acting. I mean, a good amount of that time, but more, like, seriously when I was, like, 9 or 10, 8, somewhere in that kind of, like, block. My parents owned 2 acting studios back where I'm from, so I used to go to a lot of those workshops, and because they would do shows through that and through the school that they worked at, I was able to, like, kind of, like, sit and watch things kind of as they unfolded, and I learned a lot that way. And my parents were both theater teachers for a while, too, so I got into, like, the more academic side of it as well. I can say with confidence the first time I was like, this is what I have to do for the rest of my life was, I don't know, I went to, like, this acting, like, camp and intensive when I was, like, maybe 7th grade, 8th grade. Can you still hear me? Is it going through?
I'm sorry.
Cool. No worries. And it was at my first, like, professional theater, and I was in the ensemble for Beauty and the Beast, but, like, they had a bunch of, like, guest people come in, and we were doing, like, all these little exercises and stuff like that, and something about it just, like, clicked in my brain, and I was like, this is what I know this is something I've always dreamed of doing, but this is something I can actually make a reality. So as much as I joke about how much I hate it, I do really love theater. I think it gave me a voice when I really needed one, and provided, like, some kind of emotional release that I couldn't otherwise have. So I kind of have, like, a little sappy love for it.
That's really beautiful.
Thanks. Wait, that's actually so nice of you to say.
That's like...
Where's
like, I think I heard you, like, kind of explain, like, that backstory a couple of times, and every time, like, you explain it to me, you always, like, tell it a different way, and I just find it so interesting, because it's like you're retelling it to me, like, for the first time.
Thanks.
And, yeah. I was going to ask you...
Can you hold this while I take a sip of water?
Yeah. 2 microphones. Wait, what the...
Not you giggling louder.
I love big butts and I cannot lie.
No lie.
No lie.
Right. No! Give me my mic back.
The power I have. I was going to ask, what makes you love theater so much? But, yeah.
I mean, I can talk more about it.
Yeah, because I was just going to say, like, you kind of already, like, answered that within
It definitely is, like, a very emotional thing, but, like, more than anything else, it's my way of creating very, like, I don't want to say individual art because I feel like that sounds really pretentious, but it's like, I know the reason that I have always liked live theater better than film is because it's so completely unique and different every time I do it that I get, like, such an adrenaline rush from it. I'm like, if this is never going to be the same way again, how would I want to change it?
Mm-hmm.
And I think I was talking to my acting teacher about this today because we're working on Chekhov technique, which I can go into a little bit later. It's just how the physical influences the emotional. So it's like trying to create emotions by how you move your body rather than trying to just recall all your traumas and then do that. But like, it's really hard to separate yourself from your work, but it also like makes you a little bit selfish if you do that. And she was talking about it being so much more about the art than any kind of emotional fulfillment. And I think for a while when I was practicing a lot of unhealthy acting techniques, because there are, and a lot of teachers who are ill-informed oftentimes encourage those. Through my time at Temple, I've definitely like realized that it's much more about the stories I'm able to tell rather than my own like kind of emotional exhale, because that's what therapy's for. And if I'm allowing it to bleed through into what I love, I'm going to grow to hate it because it's going to be associated with all those things. So for a while it was an emotional release, but now it's my way of creating in a space where I feel as though it's entirely my own, which I think is really cool.
That is really cool. What were some of the bad like teaching techniques that teachers would oftentimes
So there's a lot of techniques in acting. There's Meisner, Stanislavski, Chekhov, Uta Hagen, all that kind of stuff. And to each their own, of course. There's like method acting that some people are very into. But oftentimes I feel as though in the industry I work in, people in power or like directors, choreographers, music directors believe as though they are entitled to their actors' traumas, emotions, feelings, and experiences outside of the theater. And reliving those and not being able to separate yourself from the work proves to be very detrimental for a lot of actors, because it's that intermingling of my life and all the shit that I go through plus all the shit that whoever I have to personify goes through. And it's very damaging to like self-image, and I also think like theater in general can be kind of damaging to self-image, because it's the only career that can say, I want a white female in her early 20s who weighs this much and is this height. Like other careers, like you'd get in so much fucking trouble for that, but like theater kind of has the freedom with that because it wants to express very specific stories. But I think as theater changes over time, that will too change, because it is unfair in a lot of ways, and I don't have the stereotypical theater body. But back to the techniques, some of the techniques such as like method and stuff like that make you exist in that character's body for much longer than you should, and finding all the similarities between you and that person. And if I'm playing the villain or I'm playing somebody who has very poor mental health, what does that do to me as a person? And it becomes so far removed from the character. Yes, it can create beautiful work, but like at what cause? So like when Shelley Duvall did The Shining, they had the director and Jack Nicholson were told to either ignore her on set or be very rude to her. And the axe scene was unprompted. So of course she was really scared, and it looks as though she's really scared. It's because she seriously didn't expect it, and she was freaking the fuck out. So like a lot of people assume, especially in like, it's been brought to light more recently, but it's always been happening. Like trying to get Judy Garland to cry as a child actor, they like ripped the wings off of butterflies in front of her
that's so awful.
while she was a kid. Yeah. So like it's an attempt at getting a real emotion, but doing so in a way that is so unhealthy for the people who have to portray those things. But because it's a technique, therefore it's not abuse. Whereas I worked really heavily with Chekhov this year. That's what acting is for at Temple, which is the physical influences the emotional. So it's, if I move my body in this way, how does that affect how I feel? And I don't have to think about any X, Y, or Z that happened to me in order to make these feelings like real to myself. So should I stand up and show the podcast? Okay. So it's developed by Chekhov. Should I talk into the mic really quick? Here.
Yeah.
Anton Chekhov was a playwright, and he did a lot of things that Temple decides to put on. But his nephew developed the acting technique that's like this. So like there's certain things that make your body feel a weird way. Oh.
It's okay.
How about I just project? Yeah.
Yeah.
There's certain things that make your body project, like, feel a specific way. So, like, the most important one, or, like, the most poignant one he does is called expansion and contraction, which is where you stand with, like, your feet apart and your arms out, and that's the expansion. Of course, to everybody, it means something different, but for me, it's, like, a confidence and vulnerability. And then when you contract, I'm going down to the floor. You don't need to hold it. I should be fine. You have to curl up your whole body in, like, this kind of way, and you have to hold like that. And they make you repeat those actions. And I've seen people who have continued to repeat them until they, like, are bawling their eyes out. Because this feels, like, safe to some people, but it can also feel, like, vulnerable or naked to other people. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's so interesting.
It's really cool. And then there's molding, which is, like, where you have to move your body like this. You have to, like, push through the space like you're molding it. Versus flying, which I can't do in this space, but, like, you, like, jump. And it's, like, you're lighter than air. And then there's swimming, which makes you feel like you're moving through water. And, like, all of those things, because your body is moving that way, it makes your brain, it tricks your brain into feeling things. It's, physio-emotional or something like that is the term, but it's really cool. And it works a lot for some people, and of course for others it just doesn't work. But it worked a lot for me.
Oh, that's so cool.
Really liked it. Yeah.
It's so interesting. I didn't know, like, the ins and outs of different techniques and stuff. What other, like, techniques can you do to provoke a certain emotion that's not abusive in nature?
So, the bitch that everybody hates, Miss Uta Hagen, she developed the 6 questions. It's like, who am I, where am I, what influences me, all that kind of stuff. So a lot of writers will use, a lot of actors will use that, and they'll write until they feel things, or they do a lot of background work on characters. That's what's called character analysis. This gum is getting really annoying. And every role that I've done, I've needed to do character analysis of some kind of, in some way, shape, or form, but some are more extensive than others. So Uta was like, where were you born? What time were you born? What does it look like? What is the hospital you were born in smell like? Like, there's all of these, like, different little details, which definitely works for some people. And I would say in much shorter pieces, it really works for me because I'm able to focus on those details. I can imagine what the room smells like that I'm participating in. That one's more writing heavy. Stanislavski does exercises where it's like there's you're imagining yourself in a hallway and there's a door in front of you and there's a door behind you. One represents your past, one represents your future, which is easier to step into, which is more uncomfortable. When you step into the door that's in your future, what's there? What's waiting for you, or vice versa with the past? Is the present comfortable? Is standing in between that comfortable? So there's loads and loads and loads and loads. Method is where you are completely the character at all times. The cameras go off or you're off stage. You are still the person that you're playing. And for some people it works. Like, I know
method acting is crazy.
Method acting is really crazy. I think Joaquin Phoenix does method acting.
I was just about to bring him up. I was trying to think of other, like, actors who do it.
Yeah, I think Johnny Depp did it for a few roles.
There's this one famous actor who does it, like, insanely. Like, he goes from, like, skinny, scrawny, where you can see his bones.
I think that's Joaquin Phoenix.
It is?
I think so.
I think it's so. It probably is, but for some reason I'm thinking of someone else. But then he, like, goes from, like, that skinny person to, like, 300 pounds, 350 pounds.
Which creates, like, very shocking performances. But, like, the physical toll that must take on somebody's body is insane.
I heard there's an actor who's trying to, like, reach up to, like, 600 pounds. But just to, like, restraints, he's going to have to do, like, in the 400s to 500s, because it's just, like, to go from skinny to being that big and then to skinny again is very unhealthy for your body.
Yeah. And, well, like, thinking about it even in that way, not even, like, the physical toll that takes on somebody, because I'm sure that's massive, but, like, the emotional toll that takes on a person too. It's like, am I more desirable if I'm this? But if I have to play this role and I have to be this big, am I going to be comfortable with who I am? Do I immediately have to lose the weight after I'm done? Like, I think method can create very poignant performances, but poignant isn't always good.
Yeah.
And, like, watching these people prepare, it's like them slowly losing their minds and losing any sense of self, which is what I was talking about with that damaging thing when it comes to the separation between me and who I'm playing. Because, like, I know there was a role I had to play last year at Temple in that show Crumble I did, where it's a woman who can't have children. She's not married. Whoever she was seeing left her, and she feels that amazing amount of loneliness. Like, if I'm living in that every day, how am I going to allow that to affect my interpersonal relationships? And for a while, I think because of the way I was taught when I was younger by, like, acting teachers, like, when I was maybe in, like, middle school and high school, like, I allowed myself to really get really stuck there because then it's good acting, because I wasn't acting. I was really feeling, like, shitty because of it. That was an awful noise that the chair just made. But I think there are very healthy ways of creating performances that can be really similar, if not to the same level as that. You know what I mean?
How does, like, doing those extreme, like, acting, like, getting in the mindset of, like, an unusual or difficult situation, how has that affected your personal life, if you feel comfortable?
Yeah, definitely. So, like, if I have to, I played Tracy in Hairspray, which is, like, one of my favorite roles of all time. But half of it is that she's supposed to be overweight, and a lot of people make comments about her weight. So I think that was kind of an unhealthy thing for me to put myself through for a while. Because although I really loved the show and I really loved the final performance, working my way there and being called fat by everybody who decided to do the show, like, was not healthy for me, because then I started to think, oh, well, am I really fat? Like, is the costume making me look bigger than I am, or is the costume trying to just fix the way that my body is shaped in order to do that? Like, and then there's ones where I've had, like, loads of conflicts within it. So, like, I had to do this scene for acting 2 or acting 3. I think it was acting 2, where it's about a woman who, trigger warning, domestic abuse, was beaten to the point where it affected how she was verbally. So I had to change the way I spoke and make myself look sickly and, like, contort my body in ways. And then I started, and the whole scene is she's getting in a fight with her brother about trying to be with the same person. But it's really hard to, like, have those kind of conversations and be completely removed from it, because of course I want to feel bad for this person. And ultimately I have to represent that in a way where she doesn't feel bad for herself because she just is that person. So, like, I think that separation and finding that emotional, this was fun, I'm playing pretend, that's what this is, it's just playing pretend. But I know I will be doing a pretty emotionally heavy show in the spring. I got cast in a Temple main stage, which is so exciting.
It is exciting.
But it's a play called Blood at the Root. It's a play about police brutality and racism in a small city in Louisiana. And I, of course, am playing a white person in that. So I don't imagine it will be as triggering for me as many other POC in the cast, but I do think emotionally it will be a very heavy piece. And I know that Temple has been pretty good recently about putting trigger warnings on a lot of things, and being careful with intimacy coordination, because I think that's really important now, especially in theater. Have we talked about intimacy coordination?
I think a little bit.
Yeah, it's just like having a fight director on. It's just somebody who's, like, trying to organize how kisses, sex scenes,
we
that
did.
kind of stuff would work in a way that it's completely non-sexual. It's like, it's choreography, it's not real.
And I remember you saying with that one method where you get with another actor that you're having, like, an intimate moment, and you, like, touch them on the shoulder or something, if they say it's uncomfortable, then, like, have that, like, bubble.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I'm not comfortable there, and so they know that not to touch you there. Exactly. And then if you are comfortable there, then they would say so.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think finding balance with especially heavy pieces like that, but even I think in a lot of the comedies that I've done, there's a certain level of, I have to make sure everybody else is comfortable with what I'm saying and doing with my body. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That makes sense.
Cool. Do you have another question?
I had, like, so many questions lined up. I mean, like, throughout that, but then I kind of forgot.
It's all good.
I guess, what is the difference between acting in film and acting in theater? I know we kind of, like, already touched on that, but just, I guess, briefly explain that just for the sake of this video or
I
podcast?
think, at least in my experience, I have little experience with film. I have more now that I've worked on Ava, which is my feature film. I don't know if I've plugged it yet, but plug. My feature film that I did over the summer. It should be out by the beginning of next year, mid next year. So exciting. But the acting is much different because I feel like with film, I can touch it and be done with it. Like, I don't have to sit with it as long as I do with live theater. And I think film is much more about the details than the big picture. Like, on stage, regardless of where you are, whether it's a big Broadway stage or it's Temple's black box theater, it is on a much bigger scale, and the nuances of my body language will be less noticeable than it will be in a film. Like, in film, I have to say, I want to break down with just my eyes. And I think on stage, I'm able to convey that with my whole body. With film, you can do as many takes as you want. That's great. For some people, I don't like analyzing it. I'm like, I'll do it 4 different ways, you choose. On stage, it's like, this is how I feel. This is tonight's performance of so-and-so. But when I do one performance of that one day, it could be completely different than how it would be another day. And I think that is why I love live theater most of all. I think that's why it feels most comfortable in my body. It's the most pleasing to me. It's what feels most exciting. And I think if the theater I'm doing isn't exciting me, then why bother doing it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Kind of to further that, I heard just from like people or just like close friends like Claudia and like even Jamie yesterday, we were like kind of like discussing it last night, where it's like
both of them are very good at film. It's really annoying.
Dude, even when we were filming, like they're crazy good at acting, like film acting as well. I'm like, that's crazy how they can be good at like theater acting and also like film acting, because I feel like it's a huge difference. But they're kind of like saying how some actors show a lot of emotion, like theater acting, because you kind of have to express your emotions like overtly to like get the point across, because that's kind of like how theater acting is different comparatively to like film, whereas like you have to not show as much emotion or not show it like so overtly or overly like angry or happy or so etc etc. How do you like switch between that? Like
I definitely had to learn that the hard way. Like I've watched myself acting in film and I was like, that looks false. That doesn't look like if I was angry and wanted to scream at somebody. That's not how I would do it. Because I wouldn't be using my whole body. I wouldn't be using my shoulders or the small of my back to yell at somebody, because I think that's something that's so unique to live theater. I think it's down to the face and stuff like that, but it was a lot of it was becoming comfortable with my own body in order to create much more believable theater. Because I think going into it, I was like, well, if I just use my whole body, then of course they're going to believe me. I'm working so hard that they have to believe me. But I think acting is a lot easier than that. I don't think it has to be like a full exertion in order to get people to believe me. Because if I'm truly feeling it, why do I have to convince somebody?
That makes sense. And
I think that's something a lot of young actors have to learn. And it's not easy, because you think, oh, if I just work hard enough, then I'll be able to do it. And I'll be able, if I can cry on command, then I'll be able to do it. Like, but, excuse me. I once had a teacher tell me that nobody cares if you're going to cry, but people will be interested if we watch you trying not to cry. Because I think that's what's more real. I can't remember the last time I was in public and I fully sobbed my eyes out. But I can remember the last time I was in public and I was breathing in a specific way that I was like trying to hold everything in and like trying to keep myself together. But I think creating some kind of real performance may seem like I'm just feeling less, but it's not that. It's the way that you're able to mask that, or the way that your character would mask that too. You might want to switch it. You want to hold it, or are you good?
I was going to say something, but I wanted you to finish your statement before getting up and doing it. Do you have anything else?
No,
on that topic?
I think that's the end of that topic.
What do you plan on doing after college?
I would love to do comedy.
Mm.
I feel like I had an audition the other day for like an improv team on the city, and they were like, all right, well, just tell us something that you think is funny, and I like did it, and getting that immediate reaction made me feel so good, and it was one of those like aha moments where it's like, yeah, this is what I'm supposed to be doing with my life. And I think for the longest time I was trying to do a type of theater that everybody calls theater because it's what everybody's most comfortable with, whether it's like musicals or something like that. Like, but it didn't work for me. It wasn't what I wanted to do. It was what I thought theater was. And I think coming to college was able to broaden my definition of what theater was, because theater can be so many things instead of just strictly musicals or strictly plays. There's like so much depth to it. But ultimately I like to make people laugh. That's where I feel most comfortable, and I would like to do that. I would love to explore more Shakespeare. I love doing Shakespeare work. I can see myself doing stand-up in the future, and I can see myself doing sketch comedy too.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
What's your dream location to work in?
Ooh, so I think I'm gonna stay in Philly for a little bit longer after I graduate, and then maybe Chicago and then New York, because I think in Chicago there's Second City, which can lead to like SNL and fun stuff like that. But New York is always full of opportunities when it comes to theater. But I think, another thing I had to learn as an actor is theater happens more places than New York. Like, I think a lot of people are like, I'm an actor, I have to go to New York. But the truth is, like, there are so many cities in the United States and everywhere else where theater is a big scene. Like, Philadelphia has a huge theater scene. And I don't have to go to New York in order to feel like I'm doing something. You know what I mean? So, like, I can see myself going a lot of places, and ultimately with theater, you just kind of got to go where they send you.
Yeah.
If they're like, we need you here, then you got to drop everything and go. And ultimately, sadly, theater in some senses is a young person's game. So the earlier you start, the better. But yeah. I love Chicago. I've never been, but I love the concept of Chicago. That's not true. I was in the Chicago airport. Last weekend.
That doesn't count, does it?
Because I was flying from Kentucky, and they had a layover.
What were you doing in Kentucky?
I went to a wedding with my family, which was super fun. I performed at the wedding.
Really? Did you sing a song?
Yeah.
Sing a song?
But I wasn't supposed to.
Wait, why were you supposed to?
I was just supposed to sit there and vibe, you know? I was supposed to have a good time. And then the band was like, do you want to sing? And I was like, no, I'm so shy. At first I was afraid. I performed I Will Survive. And then I sang Don't Stop Believing.
Why did you choose?
I didn't choose it. They started playing it. They're like, you know this one? I was like, yeah.
Dude, that song is so overplayed. I hate it.
Don't Stop Believing?
Yeah, I hate it.
That was my first karaoke song ever.
Dude, not shocked.
Why?
Because it's like it's the go-to karaoke song. It's a go-to like chorus song. It's a go-to like anything. It's so overplayed.
Don't Stop Believing at my first karaoke gig, followed by Forget You by CeeLo Green. I see you around town. It's a banger.
It is, but it like plays a million times. You know how many times I gotta sing that in chorus?
Forget You?
No,
Don't Stop Believing.
Yeah.
Why'd you have to sing that in chorus?
Every time it's the
Don't stop.
No.
Believing. Hold on to that beat. What voice part were you? Were you a bass at tenor?
I was just in the background. I was just mouthing the words.
They didn't even give you a voice part. They were like, that guy.
Well, I mean, it was just like it was
I
like
was
70
a soprano
people.
too.
What does that mean?
Means I sang high, but not the highest.
Ah. So you weren't the highest in the room?
No, I was not the highest in the room, you dog.
What's your favorite musical?
My favorite musical is Assassins by Stephen Sondheim, even though I have a Rent tattoo.
Why is that your favorite musical, and why don't you have a tattoo on your body?
Because it's about the people who assassinated the president of the United States. It's my favorite musical because the songs are gorgeous. The music is so unbelievably complex. And by the end, I kind of feel bad for the people who assassinated the presidents. Or tried to.
No, you don't.
No, you kind of do by the end of
Yeah.
it. I'm going to send you the bootleg because the bootleg's really good. Neil Patrick Harris is in it.
Ooh, I like him.
Yeah, it's really good. That would be my favorite musical, followed closely by
Your mom.
Your Mama. Rent is up there as one of my favorite musicals because it was one of the first ones that I really got into. Technically, it's the first Broadway show I ever saw. I was 2 years old, and my mom took me to go see it because she was taking a class trip. But I was there and I was 2, and I was like, they're singing about AIDS. I don't know what that is.
Have you seen Waitress?
I've not seen Waitress, but I love Waitress.
What? How does that even make sense to you? Just like
Because
listen to
I've watched it on YouTube and I've listened to the soundtrack mercilessly.
Wait, how can you watch it and not watch it at the same time?
Well, I haven't seen it IRL and I've never paid to see it.
I feel like that still counts as you seen it.
Okay, well then I saw Waitress. Legally Blonde is a great musical.
Wait, that's a musical?
Yes! It was a movie first, then a musical. That
What?
one they played on MTV, and you can get it on YouTube.
That's so fucking funny.
Yes, it's
That's so funny.
good.
I want to see that now.
It's
Viewing party for the podcast.
viewing party. Oh my god, we can do a TikTok live.
Yes.
No, it's really good. I hate to break it to the family.
The family.
The family.
Shout out to the family.
Shouts out the fam.
That's a meme and H3H3 podcast.
Is it really?
Yeah, because it's a soundbite. Because like it's on the soundboard.
I'm pulling up my musical playlist.
Oh, okay. Copyright.
Copyright. I was breathing into the mic for like 4 minutes.
What playlist?
Hair is a very good musical.
Ooh, I heard about that.
It's like 70s and hippie. It's really good. And
So-
no, go
No,
ahead.
continue.
No,
I was
no,
just
no,
gonna move on the subject.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna move on. Like it's a transition. I was transitioning then.
No, please transition. I don't really have anything else to say.
So you know how I was kind of making fun of you about the football. Like,
Yeah.
is there, just to make it fair, because I feel bad for making fun of you, because you went around this like theater like thing pretty like maturely. You wanna? Here's your opportunity to make fun of me.
We're gonna go through some theater myths.
Yeah.
And you're gonna tell me if you believe it or not.
Okay.
So there are some superstitions within the theater.
Was it raining when you came over here?
No,
Is that
I have to walk to freaking.
is that rain?
Freaking. Can you? I have to walk
It's
to
fucking
improv.
pouring. I can
Okay.
drive you if you want.
Thanks.
Mm.
All right, here's some theater superstitions, and you have to tell me if they are real or not.
No.
A theater when
Wanna
nobody.
Spit out my gum.
Okay.
Alright, don't look.
No, go ahead. I watched the whole time. It's
Damn
disgusting.
it. Alright.
A theater when no one's in the theater,
Yeah.
all the lights have to be on.
When no one's in the true.
False.
Damn.
A theater can never be completely dark, but there's something called a ghost light that's left on the stage. It's
Really?
a single light bulb, and it has
Why?
to stay on.
Why?
Superstition.
That's weird. So there's just
There's something about it being like safety when somebody walks into the theater, but it's also like it'll ward off all the spirits that live in the theater.
there's this little light bulb in every theater that's always
Seriously.
constantly on. Oh,
Yeah,
that's so cool.
If we ever go to Temple, I'll show you where it is.
Ooh, okay. I actually like this segment. This segment's a lot of fun. I love myths and stuff.
What are some things on stage that you think can bring about bad luck? There's a list of them.
Not saying breaking your leg.
Well, that's one of them, but
Yeah.
I'm talking about like physical
Okay.
items.
I have no idea.
Mirrors.
Mirrors.
on stage. A lot of mirrors you'll see on stage are fake.
Really? Damn.
Hi.
What's
Alright.
up, guys?
We're filming
we're
the
filming.
podcast.
Shit, my bad.
It's all good.
I realized
okay.
you were here,
Yeah.
Lysia.
Hi, King. Mirrors on stage are bad luck. And
Why?
if you
Wait,
it's because it's like a portal
oh,
with other spirits. Theaters are like supposed to be very like spiritual haunted places.
the fuck?
And oftentimes tragic things have happened at theaters. A lot of theaters are very old.
Mm-hmm.
So they assume that a lot of ghosts live there.
Wait, how can you fake a mirror? Is it just not reflective?
Yeah, it's either not reflective, it's a sheet of glass, it's
Okay.
a piece of reflective paper.
Oh, okay.
Also, if it breaks, it's another safety thing. So a lot of like the superstitions are based off of safety too.
Oh, okay.
But like another thing that you're not supposed to do, one of the things that brings bad luck are like dolls on stage.
What the fuck?
But if they're on the table, you have to put them face down because the eyes are supposed to be able to let in spirits.
Oh, that's so creepy. I love this so much. I didn't know that there is so much like lore around theater.
There's so many
What are some like famous haunted
theaters.
like theaters under like
Almost
stores?
Everyone.
Everyone.
The one in my hometown is like severely haunted.
Damn.
Yeah.
Or what about?
There
yeah.
was a lady who owned it, and her name was Jane. She owned the theater back in maybe the 40s or 50s.
Yeah.
And it said, and I've experienced it firsthand, so I know it's true. She, if you go throughout the theater, there's 4 floors.
Mm-hmm.
If you turn off the lights in the top floor and you come down and you walk out of the theater,
Mm-hmm.
when you are outside, the light will be back on.
The fuck?
When there's nobody in the theater, and it's happened to me like 4 or 5 times.
What the fuck? Wait.
Yeah.
Are you sure it's not like an electrical issue?
No, dead ass.
Like they checked that for everything?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, what the fuck? That's so
and sometimes
creepy.
you can see her walking around the costume room.
Have you seen her?
I've never seen her, but I've seen the light.
Yeah. That's so creepy. Have people you know seen her?
Yes.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to see a ghost.
I've had a lot of ghost experiences. We'll have a whole episode where it's just ghost
Yes,
episode.
please. Yes, please. And then can we do like supernatural stuff as well?
Yeah. Giving a performer flowers before a show is good luck.
What about after?
Say it's true or false.
Oh. That's false. I feel like that's bad luck. Ayo.
You have to do it after a show.
Why is that?
Because rewarding an actor before the performance is supposed to be bad luck. Because this is this is, oh God. When a show ends, you're supposed to give the director a graveyard bouquet.
What's that?
It's just a bouquet of flowers after the whole show ends because it's the death of that production.
Damn.
Isn't that wild?
That's wild, yeah.
Yeah. Saying break a leg instead of good luck. Do you know why we say that?
Someone broke their leg.
No.
Really?
Actually, so when theater first started, it was on a slant instead of the audience being on a slant.
Yeah.
So at the end, when you had to bow, you had to put one foot in front of the other and bow like this. But that's not very helpful for your ankles. So it's hoping that you do a show so good that you have to bow so many times in that way that you break your leg.
Yeah. Oh, that's so
Isn't
awesome.
that funny?
I never heard of that before.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
That's breaking a leg.
Yeah.
What is the Shakespeare play you cannot say in a theater?
Fuck.
I'll give you a hint.
Romeo and Juliet.
No.
Macbeth.
There you go.
Hey,
Macbeth.
Yes.
And you know why? Have you read Macbeth before? In school?
No.
There's witchcraft in the show.
Okay.
And if you do, and I have done this before, I've done it on Temple stage and they made me do this, you have to recite certain lines of Shakespeare in order to banish the spirit.
Did you accidentally say Macbeth?
Yes, I did.
That's so crazy. That's so crazy that like everyone knows these rules. What the fuck is this?
It's like a secret society. I have a list of them up. Like, some of them are really cool.
Like what?
What is something you can't do backstage?
Fuck. I don't know.
Whistling.
Oh, why?
It's considered a jinx.
Why is that a jinx?
Okay, here's the reasoning behind it. The stagehands would cue each other by whistling. An actor who whistled backstage might accidentally cue a stage line to lift or drop scenery, potentially putting an unaware performer at risk of being crushed by a wall or a sandbag.
Oh, that's actually like... I love how there's like myth and like superstition behind it, but then there's also like a logical thing. I like the myth behind it better than the safety thing. Fuck the safety.
Me too.
Why are
This is a weird one.
What's it?
What I don't even know how to phrase this without making... All right, I'm going to give you 3 things.
Yes.
One of these things you can never bring on a stage.
Yeah.
The 3 things are a yellow sheet, a peacock feather, or a smoothed rock.
I have to guess which one you can't bring on stage. When I say the peacock feather.
You're correct.
Ayo.
Because it looks like the evil eye.
Oh my god.
And you don't want to offend audiences with the curse.
I love that.
Evil eye.
I love that so much.
It's super fun.
Wait, how many is like the list like so long? Like how long is the list?
There's a lot of them. This is just 11 of them.
Wait, do you like know all the myths and stuff?
I know a good amount of them. Like I've heard most of these.
Yeah.
What color do you think shouldn't be worn on stage?
Red.
No.
Yellow.
No.
Orange.
It's blue. So blue dye used to be the most expensive.
Yeah.
So it was like poor theater companies would be like, you should never wear blue on stage because they couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's basically like saying you shouldn't be selfish.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
You shouldn't be like greedy. Oh, this is a good one. Yeah. A bad dress rehearsal means the show will be bad. True or false?
True.
False.
Wait.
A bad dress rehearsal means the show should be good.
That actually makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's an old wives' tale, and no one is quite sure how it started. Many theater folks cling to the idea that a bad dress rehearsal is a good omen for a successful opening night.
Ooh.
All right, so those are those. Let me see if there's any good ones.
Aren't you going to have me read?
I was going to have you do a monologue if you want to, but, like, this is kind of fun, too.
Okay. Wait,
other things you can't have on stage.
What?
Real money. You're
Really?
not supposed to have real money on stage.
Why is that?
Because actors were known always as poor.
Yeah.
They were worried that they were going to steal it.
Damn.
Or that somebody was going to rob the theater.
That makes
and
sense.
take the money that they already didn't have.
What they're just like having thousands of dollars just laying casually around.
Apparently so.
What's like $10 gonna do?
Ooh. Okay, so this is a weird one. You can't have 3 candles lit at the same time.
Why is that?
Just because they're generally like fire hazards.
Yeah.
But also because of like in the olden days, because of the way that the theaters were built, like the Globe in England was built like out of wood, and it burned down so many times that you have to be really careful with fire in theater.
Damn. That kind of makes sense.
This is a good one.
Mm-hmm.
When you leave the dressing room, you should exit with your right foot.
What? Do you exit with your right foot every time?
It's false.
Oh.
You have to exit with your left foot. That's good luck. But you can re-enter the room with your right foot.
Do you do that every time?
Yes. Well, most of them, yeah. Ooh,
yeah,
this is this is one that like some directors like live and die by.
Yeah.
It's like bad luck to say the last line of the show before the show opens.
Mm-hmm.
So like a lot of shows will practice up until the very last line and then stop.
Damn.
And only say it when the show actually truly opens.
What if they forget to do it?
Then it was a bad open. But there's literally so many.
Wait, can I see?
Yeah, this is 41.
41, what the fuck?
Rehearsing on Sunday is supposed to be bad luck.
Do you like know all of these so far? Like which one?
I knew all the ones that we just said before. Blue. Color green is... I've never heard green. I've heard blue. Yeah, there's literally 41.
Absolutely no knitting in the wings. What the fuck does that even mean?
Somebody, like knitting.
Well, I mean...
If somebody comes off stage, you might like jab them.
A
lot of them are like safety hazards that have become something.
Yeah.
Oh, the ghost of Thespis is supposed to like haunt a lot of theaters.
Really?
Thespis. So like Thespis led to Thespian. Exactly. Jinx. No.
Wait, is that where it came from? Thespian.
Thespis.
What?
So he's like, I think he's Greek, and is like a figure in theater, and is like attributed to being like one of the first actors. But if you're like, if something goes wrong, you're always like, oh, that was Thespis, because he was very mischievous.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
Yeah. Companies should not practice doing their bows before they feel as though they deserve them.
What if they don't feel like they deserve them? They just not bow. That's so awkward.
Everyone just goes out like...
Everyone stands up and there's just that one like odd person that just bows.
Black cats in theater mean good luck.
Good luck. That's surprising. I thought it'd be
yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Come on, you're supposed to know
I
everything.
don't know.
You're supposed to know everything about the theater.
Oh, having crutches on stage is supposed to represent failure. Like if your character has to use crutches, like expect something to go wrong. But like a cane is different because a cane is good luck.
Oh well, I didn't hear the cane part, but I'm pretty sure I heard the crutches part.
Yeah.
How long do you think a monologue would take?
A monologue?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
We're at 51 minutes now.
How about I just have you read one of the Shakespeare monologues I had to do? I want to see if you can do it.
Okay. Wait, how long is it?
It's not that long. I'll give you a hard one.
Hard one?
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do?
Just read it.
Just read it? Am I like supposed to act it?
Like you can act it. Let me see which one you're
I'm not going to be able to pronounce anything. I'm just going to...
that's the goal.
I'm probably going to give up after like the first line.
Okay.
Don't expect me to read all of it because
Let's do the Merchant of Venice one. That one's not too bad.
Is this... When did you have to do this one?
I did this one in February of this year.
Damn.
This is like my go-to.
Is it the hardest one that you did? Wait.
No, I don't know if I want you to do this one.
Wait, I want to do it, and then can you do it? Like you're actually reading
Yeah.
off a monologue?
Let me see if this one has all like the
Ayo. Wait, can you talk into the mic real quick?
la 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 la.
Oh, for some reason you're really quiet.
I don't know how hard this one's gonna be for you. There's some words in here that like will definitely be hard to pronounce, but you give it a go. This is like my go-to. It's supposed to be funny. Keep that in mind.
Okay. Here you go. Wait, okay.
He's very drunk.
Drunk?
Yeah.
Okay, can I do it and then can you do it?
Yeah, do you want me to tell you what's happening or do you just want to figure it out? And I'll tell you afterwards. Just play it drunk and funny.
Okay. How am I supposed to act drunk if I've never been drunk?
Shut up. He's like mercilessly drunk.
Mercilessly? Fuck. Alright, when we turn 21, we should actually play this while drunk.
I know I'm recording it like that one time. I was like, should I?
That's so fucking funny. Okay. Let me play the... No. I don't...
What is that voice? Is that drunk? What is that?
I don't know
Let me play the...
I don't know how to fucking act drunk. Like, I don't even know how to fucking act. Okay.
You got it.
Okay. I'm trying to think of how I could...
Don't think about it.
Don't think
just
about
read
it. I'm thinking too hard.
What's the first line?
Okay. Let me play the... I'm just fucking resorting to that. I don't know why. Okay.
Just tell me what the first line is. Just read it as Caleb.
Let me play the fool.
What does that mean?
Let me...
What does fool mean?
Like... Someone who is, like, an idiot, kind of.
Yeah.
Or, like,
think court jester.
Yeah.
It's a performance, but he's also a little dumb.
Yeah, like he can be tricked easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it.
Let me play the fool. With mirth and laughter, let old wrinkles come. And let me live for rather heat and with wine. Then my heart cool with mortifying groans. Why should a man whose blood is warm within sit with grandsires caught in a alabaster?
Yep.
Sleep when he wakes and creep in the Janus.
Creep in the Janus.
Creep in the Janus.
You got it. Jaundice is the word.
Jaundiced. Being peevish? I tell thee what, Antonio. I love thee, and it is my love that speaks. There are sort of men whose passages.
Sound it out, Gorge.
I'm trying to act drunk. Because if I were to ever to be drunk, I would probably pronounce it like that.
I also think it's Shakespeare. It's written in pentameter. It's let me play the fool because it's about the stressed and unstressed syllables as well.
Oh, okay. Do cream and mantle like a standing pond, and do a wistful stillness entertain, with purpose to be dressed in an opinion of wisdom, gravity, profound consent.
Conceit.
Consent.
Consent.
As who should say, I am Sir Orca Whale.
Another one.
Dude, I'm going to read it this exact same.
I just want to hear you read something else like this.
Why? Wait. Okay. Then can we go back and I want to see how you act
You
it.
want to see me do it?
Yeah.
Well, let me find you a good one, and I'll do it while I find that.
Yeah. All right.
Let's do one from Romeo and Juliet.
Okay.
Because you seemed excited about that.
Yes. Because that's like one of two plays that I know that
Sick.
Shakespeare wrote. Did you write The Crucible, or was that someone
That's
else?
Arthur Miller.
I feel so bad for the headphone users here listening to us.
So do I.
It's not the end of the show. I doubt that they made it this far. Hey, Mom. I know you made it this far.
Hi, Val.
Val.
All right. So this is how I would do that monologue. I'm trying to find you this monologue. Beautiful.
All right. I think I'm going to reset the camera.
Okay. Okay, ready? Here's how I would do this one.
Okay.
Let me play the fool. With mirth and laughter, let old wrinkles come, and let my liver rather heat with wine than my heart cool with mortifying groans. Why should a man who's I haven't done this monologue in so long.
I'm trying so hard not to laugh. This is so fucking funny.
Oh my goodness. Then my heart cool with mortifying groans. Why should a man whose blood is warm within sit like his grandsire, cut an alabaster, and creep into the jaundice by being peevish? I tell you what, Antonio. I love thee. It is my love that speaks. There are sort of men whose visages do cream and mantle like a standing pond, and do a willful stillness entertain, but with purpose to be trusted in opinion of wisdom, or gravity, or profound conceit, as who should say, I am Sir Oracle, and when I open my lips, let no dog bark. Ruff, ruff, ruff. Oh my Antonio, I do know of these, that therefore only reputed wise for saying nothing, when I am very sure if they should speak would almost damn those ears, which hearing them would call their brothers fools. Sorry. I'll tell thee more of this at another time. But fish not with this melancholy bait, this fool gudgeon, this opinion. Fare thee well, Antonio. That's how that one would go.
Oh my god, I love that so much.
Thanks.
I loved it. That was such a good job.
But that's with all that text analysis and figuring out what the fuck he's saying. He's like, I'd rather drink than settle down with a woman.
Yeah.
That's basically what that monologue is.
Yeah.
Here's a
I
Romeo.
love that monologue.
Thank you.
Do you like act or something?
Yeah, crazy enough. We're just gonna do this because it will make me laugh. We're gonna go from the top here.
Okay.
You're gonna go through that.
Okay. Wait, how long? I'm just seeing how long it
Romeo,
is. Oh wait,
think-
fuck.
Oh my god, I'm so in love. Oh my god, I'm so in love the whole time.
Okay, here. Starting from here.
Yeah, if I may trust.
End,
You got it.
End scene. If I might trust the flattering truth of sleep, my dreams presage some joyful news at land. My bosom's lord sits lightly in my throne. His throne. Shut the fuck up.
You're actually doing so good. You started so good, and then you went into this weird voice. I'm like, what the fuck?
Cause I fucking second guessed myself.
No, you sounded so good.
Could I be an actor?
Well, I don't know if we're going that far yet. But we're almost there, Greg.
Me after one line. Should I be the new Johnny Depp? Am I the new Johnny Depp? Okay. Okay. If I might just flattering the truth of sleep, the dreams presage some joyful news at hand. My bosom's lord sits lightly in his hand throne, and all his day as unaccustomed spirit lifts me above the ground with cheerful thoughts. I dreamt my lady came and found me dead. Strange dream that gives a dead man strange dream that gives me a dead man leave me to think. My breath such a life with kisses in my lips that I revived and with an emperor me. How sweet is love itself possessed when but love's shadows are so rich in joy.
Okay, that was funny. When love is so rich in joy. Caleb, I'm obsessed with you. I love you.
I love you too.
Wait. I'm like, wow, I love Caleb. It's just like such a nice moment we just shared. I was like, I love it.
I was just. This is like a powerful dynamic between us.
Truly.
Like, who can fucking stop us?
No one.
Dude, our podcasts are getting so many views.
Really?
Yeah. It's like getting 40 views per episode. And
That's crazy.
I don't know where the views are coming from.
My mom.
Really?
And your mom.
Yes.
And me.
Yes.
And you.
And
My friends. I make my friends watch
Really?
it.
All of
my
it?
roommates listen to it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do they think it's funny?
Shouts out roommates. Yeah, they think it's funny.
Okay, cool. Wait, this is such a fucking long. Fuck.
Yeah. Well,
I lost
Balthazar
it.
comes in then.
How the fuck does actor?
Can I give you one more?
Wait.
We're just doing.
Wait. I just want to read the one line.
Go ahead. Does it say bosom? Is that why you want to read it?
No, I'm going to deliver it the same as I did the joy one.
Okay. Go ahead.
Wait, how do you, is it for non? For
Show me. Verona.
Verona. News from Verona! How now? Bajajashar!
Not his name!
Bajajashar shar! Wait, I know how to do drunk now.
Oh god.
Look at the fucking...
Yeah, you're fucking spiked because you went Verona!
Veronica, my sweet love, come back to me.
From a very real place. What the fuck? Alright, we're gonna do one more to leave him with.
Yeah.
You were going to do the monologue that every young woman who goes to college does. It's called I Ate the Divorce Papers.
That's fitting for the podcast.
Oh, yeah. I figured.
If you're ever to get divorced, can you please eat the divorce papers?
Oh, of course I can. I've
Yeah.
done this monologue before.
Yeah, I can talk like this, and they can't see my face and my movements, but they can still hear me.
Make it. She's crazy.
I'm crazy.
Instead of she's crazy. I'm crazy. Turn and face the camera. You're performing.
What if I don't want? What if I?
You have to.
I don't want my face to be seen. I've never shown my face on social media before.
Zoom in on my face.
I ate them. That's right. I ate the divorce paper, Charles. I ate them with ketchup, and they were so good. They were good. You probably want me to You probably want me to get serious about the divorce. The thing is, you always called me our.
Keep going, please.
The thing is, you're always called our marriage a joke. So let's use logic here, huh? If A, we never had a serious marriage, then B, we can't have a serious divorce. No, we can't. The whole thing's... No, pronounce that word.
Let me see.
Farce?
Yeah, F-A-R-C-E?
Yeah.
Yeah, farce.
The whole thing's a farce, Charles.
Like a joke.
A farce that tastes good with ketchup. I mean, it wasn't, but...
Ketchup.
I mean, wasn't it last week your dad asked you the real reason you walked down the aisle with me? And you said, for the exercise? Ha, ha. That's funny. You're a funny guy. Charles, I'm laughing. Not a crying. Ha, ha. I'm laughing because you're about to give up on a woman who is infinitely unlovable. For instance, Paul, he has loved me since 8th grade. Sure, he's a little creepy, but he really loves me. He made 127 passes at me. Proposed 47 times.
What? You know what? You're done. Yeah.
I was enjoying that one. I like that one.
I'll send this one to you so you can do it in your free time.
Yes.
You're done.
Hey, my name's Caleb Leonson. I'm just getting to acting. If anyone needs an actor who has my skill sets, please dial me at calebleonza69 at 4blazing.org.
Yeah, can confirm. You can reach him there. Thank you so much for learning about what I'm interested in.
Yeah.
Can we cheers the mics?
Yeah. Bonk.
Bonk.
Bonk to the bonk.
Bonk to bonk bonk bonk.
What's the TikTok? The New York TikTok. Bong bong.
Bing bong.
Bing bong.
Fuck your life.
Wait. When we tap the things, we say bing bong.
Okay, ready?
Wait, we say bang and then bong.
Okay.
Bang bong.
Fuck your life. All right, thank you so much
I
for
fucked
listening
your
to
life
the
and I
podcast.
fucked.
Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. I love you all dearly. Thank you for being interested in what I'm interested in. And hire Caleb.
Yeah. Any final notes?
No. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.